You've probably heard of manifestation, maybe even tried it, scripting, vision boards, repeating affirmations in the mirror until your voice cracks. But deep inside you knew this isn't the full story. Something was missing, something didn't click. Because the truth is, manifestation isn't just about thinking good thoughts or saying the right words. It's about frequency, identity, alignment, and the quantum field that listens not to what you say, but to who you are. And here's where it gets wild. Quantum manifestation isn't a fantasy, it's science. Consciousness isn't locked inside your head. It's a field, a vibration, a transmitter, and every moment you're broadcasting a signal to the universe, not just with your thoughts, but with your emotional state, your beliefs, your actions, your nervous system. The quantum field responds not to words, but to coherence, to vibration, and the key isn't to force reality. It's to shift your signal. Think of it like a radio. If you want to hear music playing on 98.7, you can't be tuned to 102.3 and hope it appears. You must tune to the frequency of the life you want, and once you do, it's already there. The station was always playing, you just weren't aligned. So how do we actually do this? How do we manifest in the quantum field? First, you have to understand that all realities already exist. They're not far, they're not in the future. They're in potential, in vibration, in now, and the version of you that already lives that life already exists, already breathes somewhere in the quantum field, not outside you, but within you, through imagination, through energy, through choice. This isn't about wishing, it's about becoming. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are, not as punishment, but as pure reflection. The quantum field is a mirror, and it's listening not to your mouth, but to your soul's signal. When you walk around desperate, anxious, doubting your worth, the field matches that energy, even if your words are positive, even if you write goals every day, because your dominant signal is not what you say, it's what you feel is true. And that's why the real work isn't controlling the outside, it's shifting the inside. When you choose to feel safe before anything changes, when you embody joy without needing a reason, when you act from abundance even when the bank account is low, the field shifts because your signal shifted. You're no longer asking, you're becoming, and that's when quantum manifestation begins to move, not by pushing, but by aligning, not by fixing, but by remembering. The you that already has it is not better, they're just tuned differently. And you can shift into that now, not tomorrow, not when you heal enough now, because time in the quantum field doesn't flow the way you think it does. It bends to consciousness. When you feel the future now, you collapse time, and the field rearranges to match your new state. It's not magic, it's coherence. When your body and mind and soul align into one clear signal, that signal becomes magnetic. Outcomes begin to move, paths open, people show up, not because you're lucky, but because you're finally aligned. And the best part, this doesn't require years of study or spiritual perfection. It requires presence, clarity, and choosing who you really are beyond the old beliefs, beyond the fear, beyond the noise. You've been conditioned to believe that results come from hard work, from hustle, from earning your worth through effort. But in the quantum model, effort is not the currency, alignment is, energy is. The most powerful shifts don't come from trying harder. They come from letting go of who you're not, from choosing to stop fighting reality and start dancing with it. Think of a river. If you try to swim upstream, you get tired, frustrated, defeated. But if you turn and flow with the current, everything becomes smoother, lighter, more natural. Quantum manifestation is like that. It's the art of flowing with your deeper truth, not forcing a result, but becoming a match for it. And that begins with identity, not your name, not your personality, but the story you tell yourself about who you are and what's possible for you. Most people try to manifest as their wounded self. They try to attract abundance from a story of lack, love from a story of unworthiness, freedom from a story of fear, and the field responds with silence or struggle, not because it's punishing them, but because they're not a vibrational match. Imagine trying to find a frequency with your radio again. If you're on 90.1 and the song you want is on 105.9, no amount of affirmations will change the music. You must change the dial, you must shift the story. So who would you be if you already had what you want? What would you believe? How would you walk? How would you talk? What would you stop tolerating? What would you let go of? Quantum manifestation asks you to become that now, not as performance, but as truth, because as soon as you shift into that new identity, reality begins to bend, your brain filters data differently, Your body releases different chemicals, your energy field changes, and the world responds, and this is where most people stop. They try to visualize the new self, but they don't feel it in their nervous system. They speak new beliefs, but still live old habits. They want change without stepping into change, but the quantum doesn't respond to wanting, it responds to being. So let's go deeper. Embodiment means feeling the reality before it arrives. It means making decisions from the future, not the past. It means noticing your default pattern of doubt and choosing to stand in trust instead. Not because it's easy, but because it's who you are now. Every time you show up as your future self, you collapse the distance between now and then. You're not waiting for life to change so you can feel different. You feel different and life begins to reflect it. Again, this is not delusion, it's design. Your nervous system is programmable, your mind is plastic, your beliefs are not facts, they're rehearsed stories, and the quantum field is listening to the story you live, not the one you wish for. So if you want to live in abundance, stop practicing scarcity. If you want to live in love, stop practicing fear. You can't become the new while rehearsing the old. And yes, this takes courage to choose the unknown over the familiar, to act before you're certain, to trust what you feel instead of what you fear. But this is where the quantum becomes real, not in theory, but in your daily choices, in the way you speak to yourself when no one hears, in the way you hold your energy when things don't go your way, in the way you breathe, walk, decide. You're not manifesting things, you're manifesting states of being. And those states manifest experiences. This is the core. The field responds to wholeness, to clarity, to congruence. When you feel whole without the thing you wanted, it often arrives, not as a reward, but as a reflection, because you stopped chasing and started radiating. Think of light. It doesn't beg the room to brighten, it simply shines. You don't need to convince the universe. You need to remember who you are. You are not broken, you are not behind, you are not unworthy. You are a frequency, a fractal of the divine, a conscious creator pretending to be small. And the moment you stop pretending, the field remembers you too. Quantum manifestation is not about ego desires, it's about soul alignment. And sometimes the thing you thought you wanted isn't what you needed, and the field will bring you a higher match, a deeper truth, a more aligned path. That's why surrender is not weakness, it's wisdom. The most powerful manifestors are not the ones who control the most. They're the ones who trust the most, not blindly but consciously. They listen to the subtle nudges, the inner knowing, the intuition that whispers not that way, this way. They honor divine timing, they rest when others rush, they align when others force, they let go when others grip, and life moves with them because they're moving with life. This is the simplicity of quantum manifestation. It's not about knowing every step, it's about taking the next one from the right state. It's not about proving anything, it's about becoming everything. So what do you do now? You pause, you breathe, you ask, who am I being? What am I rehearsing? And is this the frequency of the life I want? And if not, you shift, not later. Now, you put on the song of your soul and dance in that energy, not to get something, but to remember you already are something. You're not here to earn abundance, you are abundance. You're not here to beg for love, you are love. And when you remember that, the quantum field reflects it back in ways you can't predict. Synchronicities open like petals, timelines collapse, miracles become normal, not because they were rare, but because you became available to them. So breathe, soften, trust. You are not chasing reality, you are creating it. And it begins with a single decision, to remember that you are already connected to everything you seek, because everything you seek is already within you.